Today, we're going to be talking about the reproductive system and all of the structures and functions that you need to know for your upcoming lab exam. But before we get started, I just want to say that if I say anything that contradicts your objectives, or if I say something that is or is not on your objectives, please ask your professor first or come to the lab for further assistance. And with that, let's get on to the video. To start us off, let's talk about the female reproductive system. We're going to start small and kind of work our way up to the larger structures. So to begin with, let's talk about the ovary. This right here is going to be your ovary. Within that, we have these here. Those are going to be follicles. We have primordial follicles, primary, secondary, and mature. We're also going to have our corpus luteum here, and the corpus albicans. Up top, this structure goes by a few names. It can be called the uterine tube, the oviduct, or the fallopian tube. These projections here are called fimbriae. Next, let's talk about the pregnant uterus. Beginning here, we can see this whole structure is the uterus. We're also going to have a left and a right to the next structures. We have our fallopian tubes, fimbriae, and ovary on either side. Moving in, we can see some of the layers of the uterus. This layer here is going to be the perimetrium. Here is the myometrium. Here is the endometrium. Here is the chorion. And here is the amnion. Those are all the layers of the pregnant uterus. We're also going to have the placenta, and then part of the umbilical cord. Removing this and getting a closer look, we can see our umbilical arteries and our umbilical vein. Similar to in the heart, arteries are not always red, veins are not always blue. This is to indicate the amount of oxygen or the direction of blood flow through the vessels. So in this case, the arteries are indicated as blue and the vein is indicated as red. Let's cover the other parts of the pregnant uterus as well. Inside, we can see the fetus. This is also the umbilical cord, and we can see the same umbilical vein and umbilical arteries. Some other structures we can see are going to be the cervix and the vagina. Next, let's look at the female reproductive system. To start us off, we have to identify symmetry. This is going to be the anterior side of the female reproductive system. So we know that this is the left and this is the right sides. To start us off, we're going to see our familiar ovaries and the fallopian tubes and the fimbriae. Again, noting symmetry on all sides. Next, this is going to be the uterus and the urinary bladder. Moving inferiorly, we can see a better view of the urinary bladder and then also the vagina. Moving this open, we can see our uterus, cervix, vagina, urinary bladder, and urethra. Next, let's take what we know about the female reproductive system and apply it to a larger model. To begin, this is all going to be on the right side. This is going to be our fallopian tube, our fimbriae, and our ovary. Then we have our uterus, and then the layers of the uterus. We have our perimetrium, the myometrium, and the endometrium. We're also going to see our cervix and our vagina. We have our urinary bladder and urethra. And then for another view, we can see this angle as well. And that is the female reproductive system. Next, let's take a look at the male reproductive system. Opening it up, we can see a few different structures, starting with the urethra, the bulbourethra or Cowper's gland, the corpus cavernosum, corpus sponginosum, the glands, the penis as a whole, the scrotum, the testes, and the epididymis. Taking a more detailed look at the male reproductive system, we can see here the prostate gland, seen here as well. We can also see our urinary bladder. Additionally, we can see our seminal vesicles and the vas deferens that comes all the way down to the epididymis. We can also see the testis and the scrotum. Additionally, we can see the vasculature as well. This is the pampiniform plexus, and we can also see the testicular artery as well. Flipping the structure this way, we can again see the corpus cavernosum, and we can have a better look at the urethra, the bulbourethra or Cowper's gland, and we can see the corpus sponginosum much better as well. Here we can see another look at some of those same structures. We can see the pampiniform plexus, the testicular artery, as well as the testicular nerve. We can also see a different view of the epididymis and testis. We can also see the scrotum and the penis. Moving it this direction, we can get a different look at some of the same structures we've been looking at. But the primary unique view on this side is going to be this view of the vas deferens. As with all models, make sure you indicate left and right, as this would be the right side of the male reproductive system. All right, so that is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. But don't forget to use your resources, and good luck on your upcoming lab exam.